Yeah, even Nina Simone said, "How can you be an artist and not reflect the times?" Even on my album, which was 2 years ago, my song "The Solution," I wrote that after Jordan Davis was killed after having his music up too loud. The guy thought that it was justifiable for him to shoot the gun into the car, and so even then, I was writing about these issues because it's like if that's what's on my heart, that's what's gonna come out. And I feel like as an artist, I'm equally an artist and an influencer. And so it's like, how can I create songs or poems or blogs that will influence people's thinking to right thinking, not away from Christ, but how do we see the scriptures? How do we think through this stuff? And how do we apply it to our lives and our hearts where it affects how we love people and how we love God? And so I can't help but talk about it. Like, if you just want me to just talk about justification and not talk about loving your neighbor who may or may not be a believer, then I'm not the artist for you. I usually write to a beat, and so because I haven't had a music, I haven't written, but I did write a poem. It was maybe a little after the Mike Brown and Sandra Bland situation. I wrote a poem called Seven Things I Want to Say to America because I just had a lot of issues that I wanted to get out, and so I wanted to talk about why are black neighborhoods food deserts. Why are there no grocery stores? But why are there liquor stores and Popeye's chicken? It's like, if we don't die by the bullet, we might die by high blood pressure. I think that's a problem. So I also talked about just my increased fear of the police. Is like, I don't trust them cats. Like, it's hard for me to believe that when you pull me over, I'm gonna leave alive. It's when I've consistently seen that not happen. Like, that's rough. So yeah, I've written poems about it. I haven't written any songs though. Poems I'm able to articulate a little more than I am in a 16 bar verse. Um, not not as a when I was gay, I did. That's how I word it. Like when I was gay, police really they treated me very disrespectfully, and I think it was because like I guess they just saw this gay woman as if I didn't have dignity or that it didn't matter or whatever. Like they wouldn't. I would be in the passenger side, and they would be coming at me, not even the driver. And so when I started dressing like a girl again, that seemed to lessen it. But I did get a mild taste of what I think black men may experience all the time. I think being married to Preston, I see it in ways that are crazy. Like yeah, people following him, watching him. When we get pulled over, they always go and talk to him and ask him 1,000 questions and not me, as if he's the driver. We went to Canada one time. They labeled his ticket so that he would get checked more. And I asked why, and they were like, he looks suspicious. Stuff like that. And I remember turning to him and I'm like, I'm so sorry that you consistently have to go through being considered a threat everywhere you go. And so I think being his wife makes me very sensitive and empathetic to what black men face. You know, even in Christian circles, he's looked at crazy, which is even deeper. It's like, you reform, but you're racist. Ain't that something? Like your Reformation theology has not yet influenced how you view people that are different from you. So, about 4 years ago, Brian Dye hit me up like, "Hey, you want a job?" I was like, "Nah, I'm cool," because I didn't want to move. I was in St. Louis, and he sent me all the information about it or whatever. And so I came to Chicago and interviewed for the position of female mentorship coordinator, which was GRIP Outreach for Youth is a non-for-profit organization working to empower volunteers to walk life with fatherless teens. And 99% of the teens we work with are fatherless. Some of them are motherless. And so my job as the female mentorship coordinator was to pour into, equip, train the mentors so that they could do their job to the best of their ability. Job is a weird word, but to the job to the best of their ability. And so it's like being a black girl. I didn't necessarily grow up in the hood, but growing up in an urban community, I was able to identify with the girls that they were walking with in ways that they couldn't, because most of our volunteers are white. And so they have no idea what it means to not have a daddy, to need food every day, to not have a tutor, to not be able to get certain jobs because of who you are. They don't know what that means. So I came alongside to walk with them and help them to see that so that they could love these kids well. Yeah, so Poets in Autumn tours, spoken word tour with me, my husband Preston, Genetics, and Ezekiel. We're doing, I think, 25 or 26 cities. during the months of September and October. I think it's pretty cool because it's like art is on display. The gospel is on display in creative ways. I wrote a topic on womanhood, kind of coming against the idea of feminism and patriarchy and all that type of stuff. Just stuff that's been on my heart. Yeah, and it's cheap. It ain't expensive. You ain't gotta pay $60. Just come through, hear some poetry, get saved again, and enjoy yourself. God is so good and worthy to be praised.